Oh, yeah, it's your boy Live Wire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a motherfucking minute. But I'm back. What's up? What's going on with y'all? How has it been? Uh, you know, taking some time off. Getting ready for dealing with his new responsibility coming up. So, I've been busy. But I must say, man, I'm in enjoying my time off, playing some games. I jumped into I tried to play Dragon Age. I don't know if I'm gonna like this game, to be honest. I think it's okay. I don't know, man. I just don't want to play it. I don't know what it is. Something about that game. I don't feel like playing it like that. What's going on, other Zinc? It said Nintendo Switch is a handheld and it's garbage. I'll get into that in a second. But I just I've been playing Fable, the first Fable. And I kind of played a little bit of Fable. I played like the intro of Fable 3, intro of Fable 2. And I went back and I was like, you know what? Let me start Fable from the beginning. So I kind of been playing through a little bit of that. I'm actually a little bit stuck, so I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just a little stuck in that game, but I'll figure it out. But I've been playing that. I've been playing damn. What the fuck else have I been playing? Sea of Thieves sporadically, obviously, when they got the closed beta. Actually, it's available today, so I'll be on that shit tonight. What the fuck else? I've been playing some Forza Horizon 3. Not so much this week, but last week. Man, that game looks great. It looks even. I don't know if they had an update or something. I don't know what it was. That shit looks even better than it did before. I'm like, damn, that shit looks great. What else was I playing? I'm trying to remember. Fuck. I just beat something. Splinter Cell. That's what I was playing. I was playing a shit ton of Splinter Cell Convictions. I bought it. It was backwards compatible. I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump back in this bitch. Bought that shit, beat it. I've been playing a little bit of Evil Within. I'm not quite sure how far along I am in that game, to be honest. This is The Witcher. I didn't even play Mafia 3. I played like a smidget of that today, yesterday. Yeah, see, I didn't do shit in that game. Yeah, I played this game too. I don't know. It's not for me. So I'm not gonna really mess with it like that. But yeah, man, I just been chilling and just chilling and gaming. But like everybody else, it seems I went out to go see Black Panther. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, man. Black Panther's amazing, bro. It's an amazing, amazing movie. I've seen it 3 times. So I've seen it with standard twice. I've seen it IMAX 3D today for the first time, and I must say, well worth it. Cost me like I think the ticket was like $15 doing it through Fandango. So but yeah, well worth it, man. A lot of it just felt better, felt bigger. I noticed a lot more. Which is crazy. Like you watch this shit the third time, you figure, after the second time you've seen everything. But it's just like the depth made things a little bit more apparent with the 3D depth and the whole IMAX kind of feel to it. just made things more apparent than they were if I had just, watched it again standard. But yeah, man, it's a great movie, man. I enjoy it every single time. I've watched it 3 times, so um, but aside from that, man, just been chilling, man. So last couple of days, I mean, obviously, it's not much news going on. So, cats are kind of just rehashing old shit about Microsoft, I guess. Because Nintendo doesn't have anything that's about to come out that we know of. Sony doesn't have anything that's about to come out that we know of. I mean, their newest game, their most up to date, well, soon to be released game is God of War. But that's, that game is a ways off. You got at least until April. Was it April 20th or something like that? So you got a couple of months. Then you have see if these that comes out in is it less than a month? I think it's less. Wait, hold up. I don't even know what the fuck today's date is. Damn. I think it's the 20 something, right? 23rd. So today's the 23rd. You got less than a month for that game to come out, or just about a month for Sea of Thieves to come out. So I can't wait for that. I can't wait to play that shit. That's why I love playing the beta so much, man. I love that shit, man. It's just an easy game to play, jump in, just have a good time, fuck around. You want to, do what you want type shit, But then in the midst of that, I think we have Getaway that comes out around that same time. Far Cry 5 comes out maybe like a week later. I know cats are playing Monster Hunter. Not my type of game. I've watched people play it, and that's cool enough for me. I don't know. I'm just not. I have no interest in it. Cats be like, "Oh no, you give it a chance." I'm like, bro, I don't know. I don't have no interest in it, man. I just feel like I could just go. Why not just play The Witcher? I haven't 100% of that game. So for me to buy Monster Hunter is almost like a waste. Like I could get the loot and, build the armor and all that shit and swords and shit on a more realistic looking game, fighting way more interesting monsters on The Witcher than Monster Hunter. Like I don't really care about having a pet cat. I don't know. I just don't care about that shit. I know people bought it because it was popular and other people bought it. But I ain't that type of dude. I'm not buying shit just because other people's like. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna get it. Just because other people got it. And every time I do shit like that, I always run into that shit. Like, why the fuck did I do that shit? I knew I didn't like this game. I knew I didn't give a fuck about this game. Let them talk me into getting this shit, and now I got a fucking game I don't even fucking play. Like that's the reason why I don't fuck with that shit. What's going on, X man? But yeah, man. So Microsoft. Let's see. Well, I guess it was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. Microsoft did a keynote at DICE. And they talked about some good shit. Gender equality in the workplace and sex equality and all that shit, right? Racial equality and diversity. All that shit's good. Good shit. Then they talked about bullying, which is I don't know. Like to me, I don't know. This is my thing. I don't know if you can. I know they want to kind of push this thing where we want to make it so people don't get bullied, But to be honest, you don't have to get bullied in a video game. I mean, literally, you could just turn your fucking mic off, or you could literally not jump into a party chat, or you can literally mute everybody in uh you know in-game chat. So it's like I don't like you can't get bullied unless you want to. Like you literally are a glutton for punishment, and you're just like, you know what? These people saying this shit about me bothers me. But instead of just muting them, I'm gonna just sit here and take it and then fucking cry in my pillow later. Like I don't understand what the fuck. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the world has become way too soft, man. I think trying to protect people from bullying has become the dumbest shit ever. Because even when people say, "Oh, protect," like my daughter got cyber bullied and she wanted to kill herself, I'm sitting there like, hold up. See, being cyber bullied to me is way better than being fucking physically bullied. One, and on top of that shit, she ain't got to be or he ain't got to be plugged in. Like this is my whole thing. They don't need a cell phone. They don't need it. You might want to give it to them and everything. Everybody got to have a cell phone. You be seeing like all kind man shit nowadays. You see like kindergartners running around here with goddamn cell phones. They give them to early, and I mean, it's one thing to let them play with the cell phone, but they literally have a cell phone. Like since the age of 5, they had their own personal cell phone that they would carry with them at all times. And my thing is like, and then you got social media, and then everybody like all these kids are like they post their whole lives on the fucking internet. They put up a picture of their new haircut, and if people don't like it, they get all fucking depressed. This shit is ridiculous, man. Look, man, my kids and I'm having a kid, and they're not going to be allowed to do that shit, man. That social media shit is out. It's fucking having their own cell phone. They'll get one of those little bullshit ass cell phones. You call mommy, daddy, and grandpa and grandpa. That's it. That's the only shit you can do on that goddamn phone. You can't get on Facebook, Twitter, none of that shit. You don't need it. The only thing you need to be worried about as a fucking kid is going to school and fucking learning. Like that's all you need to be worried about. Bullying happens to everybody, yeah, but when you come home, you should have a safe haven. So if you're sitting on your phone fucking crying about somebody who says some shit about you on Twitter, I'll be sitting there and I watch adults do that dumb shit and literally get upset. My brother was upset for a bit about saying people talking shit about him on Facebook. And I'm sitting there like, bro, you don't gotta look at the shit. Like, why the fuck you give a shit? Like, just fucking turn the shit off. Nah, I ain't gonna let them just talk about me like that. I'm like, yo, who gives a fuck? Like, they're on Facebook literally shitting on people. Like, if that's what they want to make of their lives, just being Facebook trolls, like, bro, just let that shit go. But some people just can't unplug, man. Like, I'm so much of a Mr. I don't give a fuck. And maybe that's why people get pissed at me on Twitter because they feel like, oh, well, you should feel this way. And I talked about you. And why aren't you like emotionally damaged because I told you about yourself and said that because you don't like this game. And I said that you should be like wanting to kill yourself. And I'm like, bro, man, because I don't, number one, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about what people say to me in real life when I meet them, let alone motherfuckers on the internet that are fucking God knows where the fuck they are. Like, why would we care that much? Why do people care that much? I don't know. What's going on? George Bush don't care about black people? Man, that's a long ass name, bro. What are you gonna call in 7 years? It's 7 years old. The Ghostbusters. Yo, you know damn well they would, man. Little kids will call all kinds of people. That's why they only need to have 4 numbers on there. Sitting there watching, and little kids are smarter than you think, man. They be sitting there watching a movie, fucking number comes up, they gonna start dialing that shit. You be like, oh man, these motherfuckers is wild. They're like, Mom, Dad, I called the number, for the Care Bears, but they didn't pick up. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, what the hell? Why the hell you calling the Care Bears? Because Grumpy was upset, and I wanted to call him and say, I'll give you a virtual hug or some dumb shit. I'm like, oh Lord. But this shit is crazy, man. I think shit has got too soft, and I think I understand what Microsoft has to say, especially in the climate where these kids are out here fucking shooting up everything. Yo, who would have thought? Like I was, as a black man in America, I understand what the stigma is on being a black man. Look, man, I'm 6'6", how much do I weigh? Like 250, 240, something, 249, something like that. I'm worried about 250. So I'm tall and I'm black, and I got locks, so it's like, I got a couple strikes against me. So when I walk into an area, I gotta try to be as least intimidating as I possibly can, so motherfuckers don't think that I'm trying to hurt them for some random stupid ass reason. You feel me? Whereas now the scariest sight to see right now is an 18 to 25-year-old young white male, and you don't know what the fuck is on his mind right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. Like, are these kids, have they been so neglected and nobody's paying attention to what the fuck they're doing, to the point that they're just like, fuck the world, I'm gonna just kill everybody type shit? That shit is crazy, bro. You've been worried about, and the thing is, going to, being from an urban area, going to a predominantly minority. I mean, shit, I could tell you how many white kids went to my school. Maybe like 20. Maybe 20. It was like 60, maybe 60% black, 33% Hispanic, and then the rest was other, and we had metal detectors and all that shit, right? Like, you literally couldn't get into the school with a weapon, and if you did, they will find you rather quickly, because they have freaking the doors. Like, you only can come in one way, and the campus was basically closed off, so you really couldn't sneak in. They had security by all entrances, and on top of that shit, they had cameras. But even with that being said, I'm not, I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I've never seen or heard of, like, minorities really trying to spray up everybody. You feel me? Like everybody, like motherfuckers you don't even know, just spraying up everybody. Like, that shit's wild as shit right there. But like, not the motherfucker that pissed you off, but everybody. That's just crazy, bro. I just never understood that. But I mean, obviously, you're talking about a complete psychopath, and they aren't to be understood. So I don't know. I just never seen it. I don't know. I mean, how do you even develop? I mean, because look, man, I went to black schools. I taught in them, and I've taught with a lot of kids, man. I've taught the good, and I've taught the fucking bad, man. I'm talking kids beat up fucking teachers and all kinds of shit. You'd be like, why the hell you beat this teacher up? Because he looked at me wrong. Shit like that, right? But out of all that shit right there, motherfuckers pushing motherfuckers down the stairs, wild dumb shit. And even working in Newark, and I work with a lot of bad kids, but even with that being said, never ever have I ever feared for my life from a kid. The feeling that, he was going to come and shoot me and the rest of the school up. Like, that would never even been something on my mind. And I don't know, maybe because we pay attention so much. I don't know, because like a lot of the kids that were fucked up and bad, they were in special programs. Like a lot of them. Somebody did some kind of outreach. Somebody was always out there trying to help them. Like, especially as the schools I've worked with, even if they didn't want to come to school, home life was fucked up, mom was on drugs, all that kind of shit, right? Anytime they came to school, somebody was had a handout for them, even if that kid was the biggest fucking asshole, steal money out your purse, do all that wild shit, right? Somebody was still trying to help those motherfuckers. So I never worried about a kid coming back to school and just shooting up the fucking school. Now, have I ever worried about the kid coming back to school and trying to shoot up another kid? Yeah, I worried about that shit, but not the whole fucking school, bro. The shit is wild, Joe. The shit is wild, man. That's just crazy, man. That shit's crazy. And to be honest, I was talking to my wife and like, man, I was thinking like, yo, I was like, I don't know if we should send our kid to like a private school, man, because I don't like, you would think that would be the safe place to send them. But I think like never in my life did I ever worry about not coming home from public school, maybe getting beat the fuck up. All right. Even possibly stabbed or sliced, maybe. Depending on what kind of crazy motherfucker you dealing with. But not coming home, period. Nah, man. That shit is wild, bro. Well, I don't know, man. I guess it's the day and age we live in, man. Shit is crazy, bro. What you write? George Bush don't care about black people. Out here in the Richmond, Cali, we have police officers at schools, and I don't know about all the other countries. All the other states, though. Yeah, man, we got like shit. We had Mr. Young, Randy, shit. Like a couple other, we had a good number of security guards. I think it was like 8. And then you had like 2 police officers. So we always had, you know what the thing is? The black schools have always been said to be the worst, right? You'd be like, oh, they're the worst. You got the black kids. You got to watch out for the black boys. Black males, the most dangerous person in the country. Black males, so dangerous, violent. Like this little scrawny white dude coming up with like AR-15s, fucking, massacring his classmates. Yo, the shit is fucking nuts, man. But the thing is, they didn't see it coming. Like, it's been this like narrative that the media has pushed for so long. Like, oh, black kids violent, and this was like something big, especially in the 80s, 90s. Oh, the black male is so violent, so extreme, so this, and you got like massacre after massacre, young white male after, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on in the white community that you literally like I mean, we deal with black on black violence just like they deal with white on white violence, but these motherfuckers is out here massacring people. Like, yo, like school's supposed to be a safe place, man. That's supposed to be Switzerland, and they don't give a fuck. Like, they just, holy shit, they just blowing motherfuckers' brains out and then going to McDonald's and getting Big Macs. Like, that shit is crazy, bro. That shit's wild, man. I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how are they, like, they've been neglected and nobody seems to fucking pay attention. I don't understand this. Like, how did this happen? Like, this is your watch. These are your kids. Like, why the fuck aren't you watching them? Like, have you not given him a hug? What the fuck is going on? And you can't be like, oh, well, he had a hard life. His mom died, and his other mom died, and then he was adopted and went through the system. Motherfucker, black kids been dealing with that shit for a long time, bro. They still didn't get up and just fucking massacre the whole fucking high school. like, so fuck the bullshit. That ain't it. It's something else. Can't tell me, oh well, such and such died, such and such died. So you don't understand how he's feeling, and because he was feeling this way, he just felt like he was like neglected. So he just had to kill everybody. Like, no. I would give you a pass on that shit if we didn't see a lot of other cases like that. A lot, man. That shit is crazy. Something else is going on, man. They got to get down to the bottom of this, because otherwise this shit ain't gonna stop. You're gonna see another one, another one, and another one. Shit is crazy, man. It's crazy shit. It's crazy shit right now. And then you got the gun shit. So yeah, I don't know, man. Look, anybody thinking that the NRA is gonna change or not, man? Their job is to sell guns. Listen, their job is to sell guns. You know, it's a system thing, man. They need people to buy guns and shoot other people. You know, look, buying guns, whether they're legal or illegal, help what? The criminal justice system. You got more guns, that means you're able to get more cops. You got more cops, you're able to pay them, lock people up for having guns, put them in jail, keep that money train going. If you don't have guns, people can't commit crimes. So you can, then what are people going to do when, their whole career was to be a cop? You don't need as many cops because you don't have any many guns, because not as many people are dying. So then what the fuck, So they're not going to advocate for getting rid of guns. Fuck, if people got to die, they don't give a shit. Still money that they're making. They don't care. But it is what it is. The day we live in. What was next, man? Yeah, I got a chance to play with that Switch. I was at GameStop, and I got my hands on it. And it's a good console and all, but for anybody who's not a handheld person, like if you don't give a fuck about handhelds, this shit's not gonna change your mind. It's not gonna make you miraculously care about handhelds. It's just not. It's just not. It's what do you say? George Bush doesn't care about black people. Says, I was surprised the police didn't kill him. Well, they didn't. They only. You know what? I don't know. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to. I don't know how they determine who they kill and who they don't kill. To be honest. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people are like, all right, well, if it's a black guy, they just kill him on the spot and be like, oh, he was bad. That's it. And if it's a white kid, they try not to kill him. And yeah, and that may be the case. Look, man. I mean, it's possible that could be it. I mean, there's always that theory that, if it's a black kid that does it, they just kill him because they're like, fuck it, he was bad. It doesn't matter. If it's a white kid, they want to know why he did it. Because that kid lives in their community. So, and he's basically a terrorist, a homegrown terrorist in their own community. So it's like they have more of a vested interest in figuring out why he's doing crazy shit, so he doesn't do it again. Because, I mean, look, people kill who live near them. That's just how the shit goes, right? It's rarely that you see a motherfucker that drives, very far to go kill people that don't live near him. It's very rare. I mean, those are just straight up hate crimes. Like, oh, I'm gonna go, burn this church or shoot up this church or whatever the fuck that is. Those are just straight, insane hate crimes. But they, that's not necessarily just being a straight up psychopath. Partially it is, but it's just radical, thinking. Whereas most psychopaths are not going to go that far from where they're at. They usually destroy shit right near them. That's just how it goes. Evil Earn. There were some interesting and great points you have there. Thank you, sir, man. It's it's wild shit, man. It's wild shit. Let's see. But yeah, back to the Switch, man. The Switch is a handheld. So, what do you want? Like it's a handheld. And it does that well. If you like handhelds, then it's cool, but it's not going to, I'll say this. If you like Nintendo games, um, it's a cool console to have. If you like playing on the go, it's a cool console to have. And if you like and if you want something to play with your kids or have for your kids, um because it really doesn't have internet, so you don't got to worry about too much internet shit. I mean, not really. I mean, I guess it's good for that, but outside of those things, those three things, it's really it's not for everybody. You know what? Like, because the thing is like I look at the Switch. I don't know how much it sold. So I don't know if it's 17 million or whatever it is, 20 million. I don't know how many it sold, but I know that you got to look at it this way. I think the Nintendo DS cost was like 200 or something at one point. So anybody willing to spend money on the DS is going to spend money on the Switch. It's only 300. I mean, $100 more, right? And then you have the Wii U owners. I don't know how many that was. I know they were talking about 13 million, but I'm pretty sure they sold a little bit more than that. So you have those people that bought that console are more than likely going to go buy the Switch, right? And then you have um, you know, just kids, people that were too young to have consoles or handhelds when the Wii U was out, if they were even born when the Wii U first came out. And now maybe they're like 5 or older right now, and they're getting the Switch right now. Because you got to look at it this way, man. People be like, oh, why would you go buy your kid a $300 handheld or console? It's kind of expensive. I'm like, bro, people was buying their kids $800 tablets. Literally $800 tablets, right? The iPad was $800. I think the cheapest one was like 4 something at one point, and people was getting those shits for their kids. So you're talking about a Nintendo Switch that's 300. That shit ain't nothing. They was already accustomed to buying shit that was $800 for their kids. So buying something, so you telling $300 even cheaper, and their kid can have it. That's nothing. That's not even, you're not even bothering me with that shit. And they take it on the go, so that means it's something they can take with them, play in the car while you have road trips or things like that. That of that nature, they could take it to church. I mean, because look, man, I don't know how many people I see. I don't see them playing Nintendo Switches at church, but I see them, kids on their tablets and their phone at church. When I was a kid, man, I just had to sit in that bitch and just, I ain't know what the fuck the Reverend was talking about, but I just sit there and just be like, I don't know. I know I'm told to sit still, and if I move around too much, I'm gonna get yelled at, and if I try to get up, I'm gonna get popped. So that was pretty much the extent of my understanding of church. I was never given much to be entertained about, except for an occasional peppermint, or if I was lucky, my mom's had some other kind of candy she would have in her purse for me. But that was on a rare occasion, and she wasn't making it a habit out of trying to, make it an easy go for me. So I used to have to sit up in church for was it 2 hours? It felt like 2 damn hours. Baptist church, about 2 hours. This shit is rough, bro. Shit is rough. Especially for, I ain't never had the little entertainment devices. So it is what it is. Let's see. So George Bush said, if I get a Switch, I'll be using it on my TV, but they need at least 8 more exclusives that will interest me. Um, And he also said I used to play my Game Boy in church. You lucky. All right. I'm trying to remember. Did my brother play? See, I was never a handheld guy. My little brother was. He was actually a Nintendo kid all around because he had multiple Game Boys. He cared about Pokemon. I didn't give a fuck about Pokemon. And he had the GameCube. Yeah, he had the GameCube. The last Nintendo console I owned was the 64, and I had that shit in in college. I had that shit before. That was the last. What was it? I don't remember. I had that. I had the 64, and then I got the Dreamcast. I think after that shit. But yeah, man. Let's see what else. They said. That's weird how it's like going to church having candy. It's a requirement. Yes, yeah, you know what it is. It's just when you're dealing with kids, man. Just if you don't want them squirming too much, you got to figure out ways to entertain them, especially because they don't know what the fuck is going on. They have no clue. You can tell them to sit there and listen, but to be honest, they not really picking up on most of that shit, especially if you're not until a certain age. It wasn't until I was well into I had to be around a teenager that I started understanding what the fuck was going on. And understanding like and going to certain churches, man, it depends on what church you go to. Like you got different people that you go to church and they preach, then you gotta go to churches where they teach, and then you gotta go to churches where they just hoop and holler. And it depends on what type of church you go to, like, and kind of format they like. I mean, that's why they have different types. Different people like different shit. So some places they just be, go there and be like, and the Lord said, and I'm amen. And then that's like the whole sermon, the whole time. You be like, God, I don't know what the fuck is going on. He just been hooping and hollering the whole time. I don't know what the fuck is. Am I supposed to learn something? But some people like that shit, and they get off on that shit. And other people like they don't care about none of that shit. They be like, look, man, apply whatever's in this book to current events so I can get through the fucking week. And you got people that do that shit. People that take more of a professor type of approach, and they kind of like they got slideshows and all that shit, and they break shit down, put it in this, not a spreadsheet, in a PowerPoint presentation type thing. I mean, it's all different, man. So. But man, I can't wait, man. I'm about to jump on the Sea of Thieves in a little bit. Let's see, look at this. You know what? I was about to see anybody was fucking streaming that shit right now. They were streaming it the other day. Like right now, they don't tell you. They just kind of just like I didn't even know that the shit was up. I was just on Twitter because I didn't even get an email. I was just told that I was sitting there just chilling, and somebody was like, "Oh, the shit's up." I was like, "Oh, what do you mean it's up?" They're like, "Yeah, it's up." I'm like, "Oh shit, what the fuck? I didn't get no memo. What the hell is this? Why that shit not?" Okay. Why is my shit not set up? Okay. Why does this not just go straight to whatever the shit is? Hey, who's this guy? Shut up. Top. All right. Okay, here we go. I found it. Yeah, there's a couple people on there. There's a couple people on there. Let me see. What does it look like? All right. Yeah, I'll show you. A few people up here streaming. So I'm about to jump on here myself. I'm about to engage in a challenge for GRG, we're gonna do a Sea of Thieves challenge. You know what? Maybe we'll start one this weekend. I was talking to K Mega about it, saying we should do one when the game officially comes out. But maybe we could do one. Um, Maybe we could do one now, this evening. So, but we got to find somebody. We got to find another podcast to do it with. That's the only thing. We got to find another podcast. Hey, look at this here. That's my boy John. I ain't speak to him in a little bit. I gotta hit him up. But yeah, man. So we're gonna do a challenge. I'll tell you what the challenge is. All right. So our challenge is gonna be a time challenge for Sea of Thieves. So it's gonna be a gold rush type challenge. So basically, what you do is you take the two teams, right? You know, obviously, it's 4 players to each team. You take 2 people from each team and put them on a co-stream so the audience can see basically what both teams are doing. And then with that, you can kind of track. It'll be easy to track like what both sides are doing, how they're progressing, and how much money they're collecting. Because you're basically trying to see based on a specific time frame. Now, what that time frame will be depends on what people agree to. So it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. Maybe if somebody wanted to do like a longer stream, so they do like a 4-hour whatever. They could do that, but like an endurance marathon type of gold rush stream. But I would say good numbers would be about an hour. Hour, and maybe on the longer session side, I don't know. See, for a challenge, I think an hour is good. I think because it kind of presses the limits in, and it doesn't get too long. Where after an hour, especially for most of us, shit comes up. People got to deal with shit. They got spouses and kids to deal with. So I think an hour is more than enough time to really get a decent game session in and try to earn some gold and shit. But yeah, I think it would be cool because it'll not only like you have to strategize. So it's like, all right, you jump in and you're like, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna go for maps? Are you gonna go for underwater treasure? Are you gonna go for the skull when that pops up? Now you could probably win the most treasure going for it, but if you have the biggest risk of not getting anything, spending all your time for it, trying to get it and not get shit. So, there's pros and cons to all that shit. So I think that would be a cool, challenge to put in the community. And we'll probably it'll be the GRG crew versus whomever. Whoever got the game from another podcast and is willing to get down. A lot of people will have Game Pass at that point. So it's really shouldn't be an issue for people to get on and play. So whether or not it's GRG versus Porter Rock's crew, which is Porter Rock's podcast called 60 Frames, or Kid Smooth's Xbox Planet, or Xbox Nation, or Crossfire, even though Crossfire is kind of Xbox Nation minus I think Noof isn't on. Is Noof not on the Xbox Nation? I mean Crossfire? I can't remember. He's not on one of them, I think. Or RDX or BGST or Weapon Wield or whomever, whomever. We'll get down and we'll run them high seas, man. And it don't matter to us, like, because it's it's all about the community and having fun. But we don't even have to be in the same parties at all. We just are going to do a co-stream. So we'll jump in. We'll have 2 people jump in one party, do the co-stream, and then they'll jump back into their their other party. They can kind of gut jump back and forth in order to have the talks of like what they're gonna do next and when the shit is over. Put on a alarm and shit, had up that shit all ready to go. The shit gonna be hot. Let's see. Says other Zinks. Did I miss that Microsoft is soft talk? Phil Spencer gave a fantastic presentation, I felt. Yeah, no, the presentation was cool. Like to me, the only thing that was soft about it was the whole and it's like trying to not so much the console war because that's not he wasn't talking about the console war at all. He's just talking about about people bullying on in the gaming space, you know. And to me, like I don't really get that. Maybe because I'm an adult and I don't really deal within circles with kids. Like we literally like unless a kid is somebody's kid that they're like, please play with me and my son or my nephew or my niece. Like we don't fuck with them. Like on some real shit. Like because we grown ass adults, man. We talk about grown people shit. We not trying to fucking deal with no kid. Like on some real shit. Especially nobody that's under the age of like fucking 18. We really not trying to fuck with them like that. Not on some regular shit. And it's not nothing personal. It's not like and everybody's not the same. Cause I mean I've been in parties where a kid was like 13 and swear to God I thought he was like 25. Because he wasn't acting dumb, wasn't cursing every 5 seconds. That's usually what happens. You jump in there, it's like an 11-year-old, and they're like, motherfucker, fuck, yeah, shit, fuck, shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what did I just jump into? And then 100 be like, I don't know how this motherfucker got here. You just wilded out. Like, who brought that crazy ass autistic kid here or just cussing at random and shit? It was like, man, I don't know, some super fan. The little kid is bugging. Like that. So normally we don't really fuck with kids. Like they be tripping, man. I'm like, man, I can't deal with that shit. But yeah, but no, the conversations were good. Diversity in gaming. See, I don't know how they had it set up at Microsoft, and I can't really. I mean, I know they have a lot of diversity, but I think what he was getting at is we've done a lot, but we haven't done enough, and I think that's more of what he was getting at. It's like, yeah, we have more minorities in gaming as far as people of different racial ethnicities, genders, sexual orientation. Yeah, we got all that shit, right? We're getting more of that. But the thing is, even with that being said, he feels that they need to have more. And I think especially with what we've seen transpire the last week with the release of Black Panther, where you have a movie that has a large minority cast, a large minority as far as in diversity behind the camera. And it just proves like, I think the way we've been looking at things possibly needs to change, because think of it. I'm trying to think of a game. Think of a game that we've ever played that had a large minority cast, like in a video game. I can't really think of any. Yeah, we've had like a black character be the lead or a Hispanic character be the lead, but we've never had it where it was like the majority. Now we've had tons where it's the other way around, like it's majority white, and we're used to it. It's not like it's not like we're not used to it. It's just I think people are kind of they're kind of waking up and like saying like, damn, can we get something else? I think that's what people are thirsting for. People want to know about other people's cultures. We want to have a game, a good game, an interesting game that is from a Hispanic perspective. We want to have an interesting game, a good game, a big budget game that's from a Native American perspective. We want those type of games where you know, you're diving into the depth of the culture and things of that nature, where you just learn more about something you had no idea about, or you have a little bit of an idea and you just want to know more about that shit. You know, I mean, because we've been looking at the shit from a very Eurocentric perspective for the long time, and it's not to say that we won't still get those games. It's just that we just need some more diversity in that field. So I say kudos. The people, but the people behind the scenes are the ones that are gonna make that shit happen before, because yeah, you can get you could write a game for a black character and have the whole cast be black and mocap and all that shit. But if the stories aren't written from a black perspective, it's not gonna mesh well. You have to have it with the people that are doing the writing, all that shit. Same thing from the Hispanic, same thing from the Asian, all that shit. I mean, well, not see, the only thing with the Asian perspective is, well, I would say the same thing. You know why? Because even though you do have Japanese JRPGs and all that stuff, that doesn't necessarily reflect how all Asian people of Asian descent feel that they want to have that same style. Maybe they want somebody from Asian descent wants to have a game that feels more like an Uncharted with the the way it runs, but just have more of an Asian type flavor with it, like their cultural accents in the game, more situational for them, but they don't want to have it feel like, I don't want the game to feel like a JRPG. Like maybe that's I don't want it to feel that way. I want it to feel more in line to what an American Asian person will feel it should be represented versus somebody who's strictly from their mother country or something like that. Because it's going to be different. That's no different than African Americans looking at something versus, somebody from Africa, specifically from a country in Africa. The perspectives are going to be vastly different. There will be similarities, but there'll be differences. So, to me, that's the thing that, with diversity, you kind of get to taste a lot of different things. Because one of the biggest issues in gaming, people are saying is, we're getting, is getting stale because you're feeling like everybody's kind of doing the same thing, and it kind of is that way. But if you change some of your perspectives, you can do twists, put a twist on something that you love, and just give it from a different perspective. It doesn't even have to be a vastly different perspective. It's just slightly different perspective, and you can make something big happen, man. So I say kudos to Microsoft for that. My big issue is just, let's not pussify everything and make it where we got to super censor everything, because you're never going to be able to do that. Like, I just hope that they understand, like, or maybe it's just hoping it's just talking points, like, oh yeah, we're going to try to do better, instead of thinking that maybe they actually feel that they can kind of control how people interact with one another on gaming, because you're just never going to be able to do it unless you censor everybody, and then you're going to just suck all the fun out of gaming. Because even when people are friends with one another just talking shit, and the Xbox is like, you're knocked off for the next 30 minutes because you called this person a motherfucker, and be like, oh, what the fuck, bro? We're playing a game. That's my homie. We're just joking. Be like, nah, we don't joke with those. Be like, oh shit, this is a bullshit. Like, we don't want that shit. You're gonna just suck the fun out if you do that shit. So as long as nobody's specifically complaining, I think it's fine the way it is. If somebody complains about being harassed, then okay. To me, that's fine. But Other than that, I just say, you should just let it slide, man. Let people have fun. Let people enjoy their entertainment. All right, let's see what else we got up in here. George Bush said, "I'm not into RPGs, but I've been thinking about getting Final Fantasy since it's $20 and looks casual for me. Uh, yeah, it might be good. I mean, 100 likes it. I still would wait for it to be $10 for myself because I just have so many other games. It's just I just need to beat these other games, bro. I can't afford to buy a new game and not beat the games I already have. Heard Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to Game Pass, so that's a good thing for people who haven't played that game yet. As of yet, I don't know who hasn't played that game. It's amazing, and they should have played it a while ago, but whatever. What else you write? It says, let's see. I don't care about what the person is as long as they don't use them accents like in Assassin's Creed games. No, I said accents. Well, I don't play that many Assassin's Creed games to know how good or bad their accents are. I mean, I've only played. The last one I played was Origins, and the one before that, I played the Brotherhood. To be honest, like beat it, the Brotherhood, or what's the Brotherhood or Revelations? One of those. It was the last one before 3. That was the last one I played. I don't remember if it was Brotherhood or Revelations. I don't remember. But I played 3. I just didn't beat it, and I played Black Flag, but I didn't beat it. Never played Unity, never played Syndicate. So I just kind of got worn out. And then when they were like, they going to Egypt, I was like, oh, where are they going to Egypt? Shit, I gotta go there. I gotta do Assassin's Creed in Egypt, man. Come on now. It was a dope game, man. I enjoyed that shit. That shit was hot. Let's see. All right. Well, 6:08. I gotta get my ass up. And damn, I gotta cook something. All right, but this is your boy Live Wire, man. It was fun hanging out with y'all, man. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. No GRG today, unfortunately, because I think K Mega has to work. So no GRG today. But we will be on next week, and check us out on Mixer. More than likely, I don't know if K-Make will be up, but you always check out my account. I'll be on Mixer later on today playing with my man Flip Money on some Sea of Thieves, shooting some sharks, fucking up some pirates out there, man, on the high seas. I don't know who else is going to join us, but all is welcome, man. But anyway, this is your boy Live Wire, and I'm out this bitch, baby. Talk to y'all later. Peace.